Lessons from Oz. So I'm from Kansas. I grew up here and lived here most all of my life. I lived in Reno, Nevada for a while, lived in California when I was a kid. I've always come back to Kansas though. It's my home. Home is where your heart is. This is where the people I love live. And that's really what life is all about to me, is surrounding myself with the people that I love, family and good friends that I've known for a while. So, lessons from Oz. Kansas is the state of Oz. For those of you that might be from other parts of the world or whatever, not familiar with the United States, we're the land of Oz. Now, what's that all about? It's about a movie that was shot in the late 1940s called The Wizard of Oz. It's a great flick. I've seen it a bunch of times. Everybody in my state has seen that movie. And the moral of that story in that movie, which this is great stuff to think about, is Oz is ran by the wizard. And the wizard is all powerful. Everybody's afraid of the Wizard of Oz. You know, people are just absolutely terrified. And yet, in the end, you find out the punchline of that movie, but it's really worth watching the movie. But the punchline is that the wizard is just some little tiny little old man. He has no real power, and that the real power that everybody is giving to this little man is in ourselves. We are the ones that have the power. It's a great lesson in life. I believe that business is the ultimate vehicle for transcending our fears and limitations and insecurities and that kind of thing. When I look back, I've always been plagued by fears, irrational, and it's been one constant battle for me to overcome one fear after another fear after another fear after another fear after another fear. My fear of public speaking, my fear of selling, my fear of rejection, my fear of what other people are going to think about me, and you know, the potential damage that other people can cause me. I've always been very, very, very aware of all of those kinds of things, overly sensitive about all of those things, to the point where I haven't always done the right things and you know, taken a stand and fought for what I really want. But you know, business is a great vehicle for transcending all of our limitations and fears and learning how to become the best we possibly can. That's really what business is about. You know, beyond the money, it's about testing ourselves. It's about, you know, really determining who are you, what are you really capable of, and living up to your fullest potential. The money's great, don't get me wrong. The money is part of the game. It's part of the way we keep score. It's part of the challenge of it all. You know, but beyond the money, or a business is a great way to transcend all of your fears. And so oftentimes it happens that the things that we give the power in our lives to, the people that we sometimes let manipulate us or rob us blind or mislead us or take advantage of us or whatever, the situations that we tend to shirk from, you know, where we don't go beyond all of that because we're controlled by our fears. You know, it turns out that it's cardboard walls. That's what I like to call the cardboard walls. They look like walls. They're like those. You know, back when I was poverty level poor, I lived in these little tiny mobile homes that had this fake paneling. And so, you know, it was cheap, it was thin, you could punch your hand through it, you know, and people did too. You know, a lot of alcoholism and drug addiction in those little trailer courts I used to live in, and so the previous owners would punch their, you know, holes in the paneling, and then in between new tenants they would just put this thin paneling up. Now it looked solid. It looked solid, and if you didn't look too closely at it in the dim of the light, so to say. It actually looked like it was something of quality. Well, it wasn't quality at all. It was just thin, wasn't even real wood or anything like that. It was some kind of veneer or something like that. You could punch your hole right through it. You could kick right through it. You see, that's the way so many of the things in our lives that look like walls, they're just cardboard walls or cheap veneer paneling kind of thing. The people that we give so much power and control to, they don't deserve it. In the end, many times they're just bullies. They're just people that are manipulating us, and they can sense that we're afraid of them at some level or whatever. So learn to go beyond your fears. Business is a great, great testing ground for all of that. You're constantly being challenged. It's a continual course of education. This is all about you becoming the best you can possibly be and making a lot of money at the same time. You know, but it's not just about the money. It can never be just about the money. In fact, I'm going to do some other videos that help explain why it can't just be about the money, but right now I want to cut this one short. So look, Lessons from Oz. Watch the movie. The very end of that movie is so great, you know, where it's just some little guy. And you find that all throughout the movie, the real power is not in that little man behind the curtain. And that's the famous line from that movie, by the way, is, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Well, the man behind the curtain is just some little guy, and he's puffed himself up, just like those little puff fish. I don't know if you've ever seen that in the ocean. They have these little fish, and in order to survive, they puff themselves up to like 3 or 5 times their size. They look ferocious. They look mean, and the other fish just kind of stay away from them. But so many times in life, the people we give all the power to, they don't deserve it, and in the end, and you can realize this as you get older and you look back at some of the people that you gave so much control to, or maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but learn how to get beyond your fears and all of your character defects and that kind of thing. Business is a great vehicle for you to grow and develop and become all you can be. It's like that old motto from the Army or whatever. So, hey, I hope you've enjoyed something in this video. It's 5:30 in the morning, a little early here, but if you did, reach out to me at heytj.com. That's HEYTJ.com. I'm always looking for good joint venture business partners, people to make money with. And if you become one of my JV partners, I'll do my best to see to it that we both make a lot of money together. So thank you for watching the video, and hope you gained something from it, and bye for now.